Hello, friends. A very warm welcome to you all to the last part of our topic, Plant Kingdom. So, today we are going to finish off with this chapter. So, let's get started. First of all, we are going to study about gymnosperms. In our earlier class, we studied that it's pteridophytes, right? It's pteridophytes which are precursor to the seed habit. But these gymnosperms, which are next to pteridophytes, they are first to have the seed habit. Okay, they have seeds, but these seeds are naked, means they do not have any fruit wall. Hence, they do not bear any fruit, means the seeds does not develop into a fruit in future. Okay, and in case of gymnosperms, the sporophyte stage is dominant. They bear taproots. And the tallest tree of gymnosperms is sequoia, that is also known as redwood tree. Gymnosperms are also shown in case of they also form mycorrhizae. The pinus plant form mycorrhizae with the fungus, and the cycas has choroidal roots which are due to the cyanobacteria. Okay. Hence, in case of the choroidal roots, there are no root hair or the root cap present. They are also known as the gymnosperms are also known as conifers because they are like needle. See, they have needle like leaves. Okay, and they have sunken stomata so that to reduce the water loss because they are found in extreme condition, for example hills, mountains, in extreme winter conditions and all. Okay, hence they have thick cuticle as well, just to reduce the water loss. Okay, this stem can be branched or unbranched. It is branched in case of pinus and cedrus, and unbranched in case of cycas and in case of cycas only. Okay, and cycas has pinnate leaves. This about pinnate or palmate leaves we will study in the chapter morphology. Okay, and the plant body, they are of two types: monoecious or dioecious. Monoecious is in case of pinus, and dioecious is in case of cycas. Okay. So now we are going to study about reproduction in case of gymnosperms. So let's get started. See friends, first of all we should know that all gymnosperm plant they bear a reproductive part. The reproductive part of these plants is known as the strobilus or the cone. Okay, so they can be, we studied that they can be monoecious or dioecious, right? See, in case of pinus, it is monoecious, means the male and female plant bodies are, means sex organs are found in the same tree. But in case of this dioecious, that is cycas, they male and female plants are different. Okay, so let's suppose the dioecious condition because it's for sexual reproduction. So let's take an example. If we take a cycas plant, okay, it has a male and female different. Okay, so for female, the strobilus or the cone, it is actually a cluster of megasporophylls. Okay, the cone, it is a cluster of megasporophylls. But in case of the males, it is spirally arranged and into a leaf-like structure that is known as microsporophyll. Right, it is spirally arranged in case of males. You can see the picture. See, and in case of female, it is a cluster. Okay. Now these megasporophylls they bear ovules. Okay, and the ovules inside they have megasporangia, which is also known as nucellus. Just like in case of males, the microsporophyll bears microsporangia, which further forms microspore, and these microspores further form pollen grains that are their spores. Okay, and these pollen grains are the ultimate male gamete. Okay, it is actually sorry, it is not the male gamete. They are known as male gametophyte pollen grains. Okay, gametophyte. Now, see friends, in case of female, the nucellus, it nucellus, it I mean the nucellus has we all know that it must be having different kinds of it must be having so many cells. Okay, so out of it there is one cell which is differentiated from other cells. Okay, it looks totally different. That is known as the megaspore mother cell. And this megaspore mother cell, it shows meiosis. Okay, and it divides into four megaspores after meiosis, right? Now these, out of these four megaspores, just one megaspores, it differentiates into a multicellular female gametophyte, which further forms the archegonia. And then the male gamete, that are male gametophyte, that is the pollen grains, they travel through water currents, and they reaches the micropyle opening of the female gametophyte, and they fuse with the archegonia. The gamete fuse with the archegonia, and hence the fusion occurs and zygote is formed. All right. So now we are done with the gymnosperms part. About angiosperms, we all know the main features. It's very simple. Angiosperms, they are known as the flowering plants, and the tallest tree of angiosperms is eucalyptus, and the smallest is wolffia. Just this part is important. Rest part we all know. We have read it in our class 10th and all. Right? It's the same only. Nothing important in that. Now, let us study about the very important topic of this chapter, that is alternation of generation. Many of us may get confused in it. So, see, friends, for this, we should know that the sporophyte is always diploid in nature and the gametophyte is always haploid in nature. Only plants shows, not only plants, but see, in case of plants, alternation of generation occurs. What does it means? It actually means that in plants, both meiosis and mitosis is shown by the vegetative cells, that are the body cells. If we see in case of animals, the body cells, it just shows mitosis but not meiosis. For meiosis there are only sexual cells like our gametes and all, but in case of plants, all vegetative cells, they can show meiosis and mitosis. Okay, now let's study about it. Alternation of generation shown by the plants are of three types, that is haplontic, diplontic, and haplodiplontic phase. Okay, now for haplontic, haplontic means haploid, related to haploid, and we read that gametophyte is haploid in nature. Hence, in case of haplontic life cycle, the gametophyte is dominant. Okay, example is algae, that is Volvox, Pyrogyra, uh, Chlamydomonas. Okay, these are the examples. And in case of diplontic life cycle, the sporophyte is dominant. Okay, it is shown by the gymnosperms and angios. Same condition here also, diplontic related to diploid. Hence, sporophyte is dominant. Okay, and there are these two exceptions to it. Right? We studied that algae shows the haplontic life cycle, but fucus is the only algae that shows diplontic life cycle. That is an exception. For haplodiplontic phase, it is different from the earlier studied. Okay, why? Because in this case, the gametophyte and the sporophyte, they are interdependent, right? So they are almost semi dominant. We cannot say that one is fully dominant or like that kind of thing, right? Means the plant body, it shows both type of both sporophytic phase and gametophytic phase. Means both gametophyte and sporophyte, it is multicellular and free living, right? Not free living, we can say. It is just, it is multicellular. Now in case of bryophytes, the gametophytic phase is more dominant, and in case of pteridophyte, the sporophytic phase is more dominant. Okay, means the like we have studied in the reproduction part of these two, right? Now, exception is like the examples are bryos and pteridos. The exception to it is algae, that is Actocarpus, Polysiphonia, and kelps. These three algae, they show diplontic life cycle. So thank you, friends. That's all for today. Bye.